Christopher Nolan's most recent film Oppenheimer won 13 Oscars, although many critics felt that it was not his best film to date, but then his films were never uniformly liked by everyone. His films are often debated, discussed, dissected endlessly. I remember the first time I saw Christopher Nolan's movie in the theaters was in year 2008 when The Dark Knight released. I was in school at that time and I had not seen the first part of the Dark Knight trilogy. At that time, I did not know who Nolan was or why he was famous or why anyone should pay any heed to this movie. The previous Batman films I had seen were by Tim Burton and frankly speaking, they were quite cartoonish. So I went in with the expectation that I would be watching something similar, but boy, was I wrong. The Dark Knight was perhaps the best superhero film I had ever seen, even to this date. And to Nolan's credit, he made the world in which a masked vigilante fights a villain with a painted face appear believable. I was blown away by the performances, the background score, and the plot. After that, I must have seen The Dark Knight Rises countless times. In the pre-OTT days, whenever The Dark Knight used to come on TV, I would watch it again and again. It is from The Dark Knight my obsession with Christopher Nolan started. I made a point of watching all his previous films like Memento, Following, and The Prestige. Each film managed to stay in my head long after it had ended. I am not an avid cinema goer, but after Dark Knight I saw every Christopher Nolan film in the theater. And then came Inception, Interstellar, Dunkirk, and Tenet. Each film he made was different, exploring different philosophies, but still it made me wonder what makes his films the most anticipated watch all around the world. Why is he one of the most celebrated names in the cinema today? And why are his films so loved by people even when they know fully well that they are not going to get his films in the first watch? So let's look at what makes him tick as a filmmaker. The music. The music in Christopher Nolan films have a narrative of their own. Hans Zimmer, with whom Nolan has collaborated in most of his films, is one of the greatest music composers alive today. Their music in the film propel the narrative, express unexpressed emotions, foreshadow forthcoming danger, convey the immensity of the challenges that the protagonist faces, and showcase the gargantuan effort the characters put in to overcome the challenges. The music in Nolan films is a character in itself. I bet even if the dialogues were silenced, one could watch Nolan's film with just the visuals and music, and still the meaning would not escape them. This is how strong role the music plays in his films. The sci-fi genre. Nolan films may seem like very high concept movies, but at their core they are about humans and their relationship with one another. Films like Inception may be about escaping into dreams and manipulating people through dreams, but it is also about letting go of the past. For example, no matter what Cobb does, his deceased wife is always present in every dream he constructs because privately he is still in love with her and refusing to let go of her. Similarly, Interstellar may seem to be about exploring space and rescuing humanity from the apocalypse, but at its core, it is about a father and a daughter relationship and how sometimes the things that are most precious to us have to be sacrificed for the greater good. Thus, Nolan films may seem very high concept, but at their core, they deal with basic human emotions. The visuals. Nolan has repeatedly stated that he is not a big fan of CGI, so he sticks to what he knows best, actually creating those mind-bending set pieces that we see on screen. The revolving floor fight scene in Inception, the jump into the black hole in Interstellar, for all these spaces particular sets were created and they were not done in front of green screen, as is usually the trend in many sci-fi films. Now, when I saw cities flipping upside down in Inception in theaters, it just blew my mind. More than the explosions and the multiverse travels, it is the grandeur of the universe and the journey through a black hole in Interstellar that truly captivated me. Along with the watertight plot that Nolan creates for his movies, it is the visuals that add the much needed impact to the story. Nolan's philosophical musings. I have a personal reason for liking Nolan for this very reason. All his films seem to ponder on one philosophical theme or another. The Dark Knight trilogy was about the struggle between liberating but dangerous anarchy and oppressive but stable order. Nolan wants the audience to choose between the two, and he does not make this decision easy for his audience. Even his villains are humanized and are at times appear more rational than the heroes. And they are so compelling that it feels easier to get seduced into the antagonist's way of thinking. Similarly, in Interstellar, the protagonist is torn between his familial duty and the duty he has towards humanity at large. Nolan never makes it easier for his audience to decide what is right and what is wrong. In Dunkirk, when a father had to make a choice to save the life of an injured friend of his son or to go and rescue soldiers fighting for their country, the man chooses to not abandon his mission. Or when in Dark Knight Rises, Bruce Wayne flies off with atomic bomb knowing that he may not survive. The heroes of Nolan films are larger than life. They may be a father, a normal serviceman, or business tycoon like Bruce Wayne, but they are always sacrificing themselves for the greater good of humanity. Christopher Nolan's unparalleled talent as a filmmaker transcends mere entertainment. It's an experience that resonates deeply with the audience worldwide. From his captivating narratives and iconic soundtracks to his thought-provoking and groundbreaking visuals, each Nolan film is a testament to his storytelling. Whether exploring the depths of a human psyche in dreams or the vast expanse of space, Nolan's cinematic brilliance knows no bound. As we eagerly await his future projects, one thing remains certain. Christopher Nolan's legacy as the greatest filmmaker of our time is firmly cemented in the annals of cinema history. Anyway, that's all for today. Let me know in the comment section which Christopher Nolan film is your favorite. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye bye.